Let me share my screen here. And at that time, if you can't see my screen or hear me, just let me know at any point in the chat, or feel free to unmute yourself. You can let me know. But with these classes, so we teach classes Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays are more geared towards new agents. There'll be like the basic overviews of certain sections in Command that we build on each week. And then those Thursday classes are for the advanced agents, and it's building on this a little more so that we can kind of go above and beyond the KW tech sometimes. Like sometimes we like to teach about like Canva and like AI, but that's not part of like Command. So we've added these more advanced tech classes so that we can teach a little bit more to you guys to help your business. For today's class, though, the biggest place we'll be in is right in Command. So we can sign in there at agent.kw.com. And make sure you're not open. So currently, do you guys have what SmartPLans do you have running in your business? Does anyone have any
1 year anniversary?
Good one. The home anniversaries in there. Weekly. Love it. Weekly neighborhood nurture, or the monthly or bi-weekly one. That one is my favorite one. It's so valuable. I had an agent set me up on that one. We'll go through that one today a little bit. And I have an agent who set me up on that like years ago. I still check it every month when it comes in because I want to know what's going on in my neighborhood. I find it super valuable just to look at every month, and it just shows up in my inbox automatically. I'm pretty sure that agent doesn't even work. So fun. So I love the automation part of that for sure. And use this code here. Section security. All right. So the first thing we're going to check on just to start off with today's class is our settings section for some things that are pulling to the SmartPLAN section. So to get to our settings, we're going to click on our name in the top right and go down to settings. And right on this page, I'm going to talk through a few things that relate to SmartPLANs in the settings section. So go ahead and scroll down on this page. What I'm first looking for, it's near the bottom under email services, is Command email. If you click manage to the far right of that, for one, I'd love to point out that you get 5,000 emails for free every single month as a KW agent. And that restarts on the first of each month. So if you don't like use your emails, they don't roll over, but they do reset. So 5,000 emails you can send right through Command. Although if you do have more contacts or you're trying to send more emails, you can always upgrade your subscription for a monthly cost as well. So you're not...
Question about that.
Yeah.
So I know sometimes when you send out mass emails, Gmail or whatever you're using will submit it to spam. So are Command emails verified, I guess the word is?
Yes. So yeah, great question. Because you're so right that a lot of times they would be marked as spam with these kind of like mass email systems. So Command actually uses like a separate email when they send your emails out through Command. It's like agent mailer with your UID number. And that's because to get past that, so it doesn't like blacklist your like actual KW email or shadow ban it. It uses like a separate email so it can get past the spam kind of obstacle.
Okay.
Now that doesn't mean it's like foolproof. It can sometimes show up in spam. So it is always good to like follow up with your contacts, maybe from your personal, like your KW email and not from Command, so you can make sure that that isn't used. Love that.
If you respond back to that email, like from that, does it go to you?
Yes. So this is exactly the setting that we set up here. So this is where we can select the sender name. So even though it's coming from that different email, you can select what name that comes from. So whether that be you or like maybe like your BBA or team name that you want that to come from. And then this reply to email, any email they respond back to, that's the one that's going to go to. So yeah, good one, right? Thank you. And so yes, we can select that, totally up to you. If you have like a business email you want to select, or you use your KW email, just select one that you're going to check. Because again, any email reply, this is your email, it will come back. And then, yeah, click save changes at the bottom if you do make any changes there. Oh, and I didn't know, like on this reply to, if you need to add another email, it's just pulling all your other emails that's in the system, but you can add custom. Awesome. And then also, if you scroll on down, I want to talk through Twilio, and I'm going to talk through kind of the pros and cons of this and the whole spiel with Twilio. So what Twilio is in command is the ability to send text messages through command, as well as automate text messages. So for example, what can happen is with the birthday smart plan, if you have their birthday in there and Twilio, it can automatically send a text message on their birthday wishing them a happy birthday. So like the automated, like the personal or the reach out on their birthday is covered.
You customize them?
Yes, you can customize the message. Now, some things like cons about it. So when you subscribe to Twilio, it is a paid feature of command. Now it starts, yeah, it's like $3.16 a month for the smallest package. And usually our recommendation is to start with that smallest package. And like if you need to use more, you can always upgrade. But usually that kind of covers you for what you need to use it for. Now it does have you get a separate business. So this is not coming from your personal phone number. So it does kind of take the personal touch of a text message out of the channel. So that's something to know. Also, when you first send a text message with Twilio, it says reply stop to unsubscribe. So they are very clear from the get-go that this is a marketing channel. They know this is not coming from like the personal phone. So again, it does bring away that personal touch a little bit. Now some pros about it. It has a 96% impression rate. That is by far the highest impression rate by any channel, meaning even, which we've seen a bunch, even when they don't engage with it, which is common, they'll ignore it because they know it's marketing, right? They at least see it. There's a 96% chance they're going to see it versus like emails in the industry have like a 26% impression rate. So, I mean, even to show up and have that percent chance that you're going to get in front of them, it's a great percentage. So something to think about in your business. And I'm going to kind of talk through how you can go about implementing it into your business and best strategies for that. Yes.
So I've got birthday smart set.
Mhm.
Do I need to just add Twilio to that?
So
Or is it separate? Smart.
as long as you have, once you are subscribed to Twilio, it automatically will use your Twilio. And there right now is just kind of skipping that step. So it doesn't just automatically text them on their birthday. It more so gives you a reminder to reach out to them. So once you subscribe to Twilio, it's going to automatically be like in your smartphone. Awesome. So yeah, the how to subscribe is if you click subscribe to Marketplace, it's going to prompt you to pay for that, and it's going to prompt for your credit card information. At that point, you will need to come back here after you have subscribed to it or paid for it to set up your phone number. It will, like, once you subscribe to it in the Marketplace, it will now say set up phone number where you can click that number. What I would recommend is it will give you the option to like pick a phone number, and you can type in that you want a 980 number or a 704 number. We found that they're out of sync. So 980 numbers are available so that it can at least look like a local number. Also, once you set up your phone number, there will be an extra button to set up call forwarding. It will cost credits. I recommend doing it because then if they do call that phone number thinking it's your personal phone number, you will at least get that call and it will go to your phone.
Does that go, it goes to the Twilio phone number?
No, it will go to the personal phone, yeah. And just noting that every minute will be a credit. So if you do get a phone call from that, just be like, hey, can I call you back from my personal phone number so you don't waste time. I know there's a lot of information about Twilio. If you have questions on that, shoot me an email or like answers articles are out there too that you can look that up. It's kind of cumbersome because it's such a cool tool of what you can do, but it's like the double-edged sword. It's a lot to kind of explain. So just continuing on with Twilio, before we do that though, in Connect settings on the left-hand side and marketing profile, just a heads up, this is where all your information from command pulls from. So like, for example, on the SmartPlan emails, like the monthly neighborhood nurture, this is where like your headshot, your phone number, everything like that pulls from. So just eye through it, make sure it all looks right. Scott Leroy does this setup for you, so it should be right. But it always doesn't hurt to give it a nice look over and make sure it's all correct. And if you do change anything on this page, the save button is just a big button. All right, I'm gonna start with Twilio since we just talked about that. And the best thing to do if you do decide to subscribe to Twilio, it's recommended to kind of introduce your new Twilio number to your existing contacts, so they know, what this phone number is. Luckily for us, there's an existing smart plan out there for us to use for this. Okay. Oh, so I'm going to go to the smart plan section. I don't know why. And I'm going to click the X out of these blue boxes up here so I can see. But there is one that says like Twilio account is not connected in case it's not connected, so you can always like subscribe here too. Now, this specific smart plan to introduce your Twilio number, and again, this would be after you purchase your Twilio number, so you do have to do that first. But then you can go ahead and add this smart plan to your library if you do plan to do it. And where we're going to find that is in the library section in SmartPLans. And what this library section is in general, I really like it. It's like other agents all throughout the nation, even staff members, they create smart plans that work for them and they publish them for other agents so they can be successful in their business. So if you're ever like, oh, I would love a campaign about XYZ. If you like come do a search in here, you might find another agent has already created that smart plan, so you don't have to like recreate it from scratch. For this one, I'm just going to look for Twilio. Yeah. If you just search for Twilio, it's this first one that comes up by Chris Holtman. Some things I look out for when I am looking at these custom smart plans is like how many downloads it has and maybe the star rating.
Oh, Twilio wrong. Other ones come too.
Spell all wrong. Good keyword. But yeah, it's the one by Chris Altman. And what we're going to do here is just click add smart plan and download. And download. Nothing gets sent if you download this. Like it's just adding it to your library to to activate a smart plan, we have to add contacts to it. So adding them from the library doesn't like send anything to your contacts. So once you have that downloaded, it should be right at the top for you. Back to my smart plan, sorry. I already have it downloaded, so I'll just do a quick search. Now, anytime we download a smart plan from the library, we always want to make sure that we're editing it, just to make sure that other agents aren't putting their information in there or like placeholders that we need to replace ourselves, which I know for a fact this one does. So let's click that pencil icon to the far right of the Twilio smart plan. And then essentially what we can do here is click on the step in the middle of the page, and we're going to be able to see on the right-hand side what it's doing for us. So this one's saying like, hey, contact first name. And now these green merge fields, those are merge fields, so they will pull in with the contact's name. Now I believe like this one, it usually says like brokerage. So this though is not a merge field. So these will fill in with the contact's information and our information. But if it looks like this, it's not green and it's not like a tab like the other ones, then it's more so a placeholder that we need to go actually type that in. And how I went about editing that, in case that was fast, it's when we click on a step, it's the pencil icon up in the top right, and we can make full edits to this message. I also recommend on any Twilio steps that you add like a little signature at the bottom that just features your name and your personal phone number. That way they know, because it's a separate phone number, they know exactly who's coming from. Just in case they, for example, didn't add them from their phone, to their phone, like that. Be sure to save changes after you put in Keller Williams here, or your label signature at the bottom. Click save. And then there's just one more step with this one. It waits a day. So what this does, it first sends them, hey, Please add this new phone number to your phone. I may reach out time to time for my business. It waits a day and then it sends them another text message that says, hey, if you really do need to reach me, here's my personal phone number, which again, puts a placeholder here for you to. And then it also shares your app with them so that they can search for homes on the. So this one, yeah, once you get Twilio, and I'll show how we can activate it with our contacts, then they all know that phone number. So when you reach out to them down the line about a promotion with that text message or an event that you have going on with that, they'll know exactly who it's from because you introduced yourself. Be sure that you are saving the plan in the top right with any changes that you made. And then at that point, you can click the X to move us back to like. Now that we have set up that smart plan, in order to activate it or to get it to go, we need to add contact to it. Best way to do that is actually through the contact section. Now, a couple ways we can go about this, like let's say, for this one is text messages, so we probably just need to hit people with a phone number, for example. What we can do is we can filter by who has a phone. So if I click filter in advance, which was in the top right. What I can do is by any field, I can find, okay, for phone number, I would do phone number and then is not in. So this would be pulling anybody who has a phone number. Apply. And then depending on how you set up your CRM, it might show only 1 or 10 contacts at a time, but you can show up to 500 at a time and do 500 in bulk. And at that point, what we can do is select the top checkbox to select all. And as soon as we check a checkbox, this actions field is going to appear, where we can click that and click add to smart plan. And for that Twilio introduction, we can search for that and do select. And then we can start that now or for a specific date. And you do all kinds of checks. And that's what would activate it. And they would receive that text message right away. And then it would wait a day and then they would receive it. Any questions?
Are you able to do it the opposite, right? So like if you have a certain tag that you don't want it to go to,
Yeah.
Are you able to filter it out that way?
Yes, you can filter it out by doing like tag and then excludes, I think it's the option.
Okay.
Excludes any or excludes all.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. And I think like any is an or statement versus all.
And for you to get it to send to you as well, so you can like just add yourself as a contact.
Yes, I love that idea too. Like even if you like test it out with you first, like see you get it and then you activate the rest. And two, just a heads up, you can also add like contacts one at a time. So if you have yourself in here as a contact and you just want to test like yourself on it, if you click on yourself in your database and then go over to SmartPLans on the right side, you can also add like one contact at a time that way. So if you wanted to do a whole. Any other questions? Okay, awesome. So with that same thought, like I know Tuesday kind of went over the monthly neighborhood nurture smart plan. That one is one of my favorite ones in here because it does send either once a month or twice a month hyper local neighborhood information to contacts. Now the problem is that there's 2 things the contacts have to have. Now an email, of course, because it's an email blast, but then they also have to have an ad or a neighborhood attached to the contact. And if you have an address in there though, command automatically knows what neighborhood they live in. So for example, let me just pull one up. So this was an example one I did where he did not have an address, like I didn't have an address for him, but let's say I met him at the store, he's a buyer and said he was interested in XYZ neighborhoods. So one way we can go about this is on the contact record, we can click add neighborhood and search for homes for like, or neighborhoods for like buyers. Now for, I think, yes. So for contacts that do have an address in there, like this one, because I had that, command automatically knew that this contact lived in Hunter Oaks, and that was the neighborhood. So either way, if you have a neighborhood attached that way or by their address, you just have to have one of you. You just have to have. Now, to easily find or filter contacts that would reach this criteria, we can use our filters. So let's click filters. And we're advanced, so we click on advanced. Then, like I said, we need two things. So let's do in this field email. And then change contains to is not empty. Then we can add a filter and do neighborhoods. And then also do is not, right? This would be people with an email and with a neighborhood. And click apply. So this will show you the people ready to be set up on this plan. Maybe if you need to like kind of see the neighborhoods attached to them, you most definitely can, but from here now, we could do select all. Same thing though, if yours is defaulting to 10, you can do 500 at a time. You get it? Do is not. So, what your finger? Hey, what happened? No. Number. There's a lot of contacts with that. So then we can do select all. Oh, and if you need to save your 1 of 10 view to 500, if you switch to 500 in a normal view and save it as a smart view, it will like default that way. But then we can do select all actions, add the smart plan. And do, so there's 2 for this one, same thing, just frequency difference. So we have the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture and the monthly neighborhood. So depending on maybe how hot of a lead it is, like if they're gonna buy or something maybe within the next year, the bi-weekly works great. If they're longer term, monthly is a great reminding touch. So depending on that, we can select that. And then start that now or for a specific date and deal. All right. So now with the have a great class. Yeah. One of my favorite uses of Twilio, kind of going back to Twilio, is the birthday smart plan that's in. So what that smart plan can do is if you have their birth date and you use Twilio, it can automatically send them a happy birthday text. So first, what I'm going to do is check to make sure everyone has a smart plan in there, and we can make edits and show you how to make edits to this message as well. So I'm going to navigate back to our smart plan section. And I'm just going to search with that search bar for the birthday. Looking for my birthdays. And then clicking the pencil icon to the far right of that smart plan will allow you to open that up, see what it's doing, and edit. So what it does first, it does remind you in advance, I think like a month in advance, if I'm not mistaken, to write them a birthday card if you would like. So it does remind you in advance to do that. Then it waits and it reminds you to call them for their birthday. And then on their actual birthday, it reminds you to do a social post. So if you don't utilize Twilio, at least you are getting reminded to do a social post. But then if you do have Twilio, it will send them this happy birthday text. Yeah. So that's like, you know, that mental load of wishing them happy birthday, just off your plate. It's automated. How do you oh, right here. You found it? Wait, make sure you're in the My Smart Plans section. Oh, happy. No, don't put My Smart Plans at the top. It is really important that you use the KW, like my birthday one, because that one's like, yeah, put the pencil icon. No. Okay, yes, that's the correct. Okay. It's okay, awesome. And then like go to the bottom of that one. Yeah, yeah. Any changes you make, it should be saved in the life. And then scroll to the bottom though, to the like last text step and click on the text, like send text step. And then click the pencil icon to the. Yeah, and then click the pencil icon on the top right. So I think by default, it says just like, happy birthday.
Yeah.
So you can make that, I added like, I hope you have a wonderful day, to make it like a little of a personal touch, like you can, really make it sound like you, if you're funny, you can add a joke in there. Part of business. And then I do recommend that you add like, again, a little signature to any texting steps in there with your name and just your like personal, but that way they know exactly who's sending them a happy birthday. So no confusion. So you can make that totally sound like you. Just make sure any changes that you're making here that we click save changes on the bottom right. We don't lose anything.
So if you make changes, does that change everyone's message or just one person's
Everyone, like everyone contact, yeah, that you send.
message? Okay, so you can't make it,
Yeah, the best way to make it personalized is through merge fields, so you could be like, I hope you have a wonderful day, and then utilizing add merge tags, you could add like contact first name, so it would fill in with their first name. Only thing to note there, your contact database better be clean in case you have somebody's name in there, something not what you want. I've seen that happen with an agent before, I had an spouse.
Sure.
Essentially what happened, I was like, yeah, that's merge tags, right? So yes, we could save that plan, make sure you save any of those. So now that we have that set up, usually how I like to set them up in Command in general is, I always like to set up that smart plan first, make sure I know every message, what's gonna be sent to them before I add contacts to them to activate it for everybody. Now with the birthday smart plan, we can add all our contacts to it, even if you don't have a birthday attached to them. And then as you're adding birthdays to it, it will start automating those tasks for you. So this one.
And I might have said something, so I got that birthday set up, I haven't. So on day one, when I have to create a task, they're gonna send me the.
It sends you the task. Correct, yeah, any ones that say create task, it gives you the task to go do that. And like you might see that with like long-term nurture, smart plan, for example, says. Send create task, but then it says send email. It does not like automatically send it, it sends you a task to go send that email. So for this, I just like to show the filter options, just to show you the filter options. So for the birthday smart plan, if we wanted to just add people with the birthday, the birthday's already in there, or just to show us a list of the people that we need to work on to get our birthdays in there. What we can do is search by that field. We could either say for this one, if you want to add people with just birthdays to the smart plan right now, we do is not empty. If maybe we want to work on getting more birthdays in there, we could say it is empty, and then we'd have a full list of people we need to work.
could you add them to smart plans as you're adding them to your opportunities?
Yes,
Like start an opportunity automatically to them up for smart plans.
yes, you can do that. Something else that I might mention to that note is opportunity checklists in there. I don't know if you've heard the opportunity checklist field, but basically what that can be set up as is like a checklist of tasks to help you move them to the next point in the pipeline. So that might be another good, good thing to have in addition to adding them to one.
Hey, Jules,
Hey.
it's Joanne. I missed what you said about how to check who has birthdays in there, what information you're missing.
Yeah, sure. Let me go. Yeah, and that was actually kind of fast because I guess defaulting on advanced filters just real fast here. So
Thank you.
yeah, for sure. So in the contact section, if you click on filters, that filters button, and then click on advanced in the top right. Then for this example, if we search like select field here and we search for and we select birthday. And then this drop down here, if we select is not empty, it would show people with birthdays. If we select is empty, it will show us the people we need to go add our birthdays to. And actually, on that note, I love to show this part of Facebook for birthday purposes. So if you are like, I don't know, time blocking and trying to get some birthdays in there, Facebook is a great resource for that. And there is a good section that before, when I was trying to scrub databases, like I would have to go to like the Facebook friend, and then I would have to like look in their details section to find their birthday. But now they kind of have a new section that breaks it down for us. So in Facebook, if I go to the friends section on the left-hand side, it's actually a birthday section. So you do have to be friends with them on Facebook, but hey, if you're not, go friend them on Facebook, and so that you have them, you know, on social media too. But as you start to scroll down, first it's going to be like upcoming month, but starting next month, it starts to like condense them together so that you can hover over and see the name and the birth date just by that, and you don't have to go through their details.
I just have a slight problem with my desktop Facebook. It, for some reason, I can't get it to stop being German.
In German, I did not expect that.
I got a new laptop and the new one does the exact same thing. It's always in German. And I know by like images.
Yeah, it doesn't look from the app, you have to be on. Oh, I don't know. Is there a friends search on? Oh, that's a good point. I never tried that one. And is there a birthday?
Yeah, tennis, I get the text. That's, here's all the people that.
Really?
Right, how I put in. But it's late, I would put it at the late.
That's amazing. I love that. I don't know if this is helpful, but under your settings section, and there's a language section, so maybe that's. Okay. Yeah, immerse yourself. Switch all your text and.
New niche market.
That's okay. Okay.
I'm guessing it could be another language. It just looks like German.
Yeah, I like the niche. So yes, with our database, that's a great smart plan to be using. So one I also like to mention as well, and I'm gonna switch a little bit to the command app, because this is a good one for like meeting new people on the go, like when you're adding new contacts to your database, what smart plan to throw them on. So one, let's talk through the best workflow with adding a new contact to our command account, like when you're meeting new people on the go. Now, the best workflow, and I know that's going to be a habit relearner, because naturally you want to go right to your phone contacts to add contacts to your phone. But if we got into the habit of adding them to the command app instead, I'll show you why that workflow is awesome. And does it always prompts you guys for a code edit? I mean, it's like every 30 days at least, but man, every time.
Still, he's trying to.
No. Or my came out, oh my god. All right, so once you are in there, so let's say we're meeting a new person at Harris Teeter, we want to add them to command. So right on the home page, you're going to find a big plus sign at the bottom right, and then you'll see an option to add contacts. And that's what we would start with. And the only thing we have to add the contact to our database is a name. But of course, grabbing as much info without being creepy from the start is ideal. The 5 pieces that is ideal to have is a phone number, an email. Those are the 2 top, really, because then the rest of it you could get by emailing them or calling. And then the other 3 things are physical address, like for things like the monthly neighborhood notice, for example, and then a birthday and a home address. So those are the 5 things that are.
Get their name and number, then stalk them and figure everything else out.
Yeah, that's a great way to go about it.
Always do that.
I will say we had an agent who, she was collecting birthdays for a database, so she was going through the call just for birthdays and got like 7 leads just for doing that. Because they didn't even know she was in real estate from the get-go. And she really appreciated that because it was more of a purpose to be calling than like checking in kind of deal. She was like, hey, I would love to make your birthday special, like just reaching out for birthdays. Like, didn't go into how she was gonna make it special. She was just gonna send them that text, but like all about the scripts and trying to get that contact. So, you know, when you're meeting a new contact, yeah, probably asking for their address might be a little weird. So just at least get their name and a 1 piece of contact method to get that information for. And then what's so powerful about adding them to the app first is once we do add in that contact information and click save, that automatically puts them on our command account. So they're in command, that's awesome. But then if we click the 3 dots in the top right corner, you'll see an extra option to save contact to phone. So that way you can save them both places with just 1 extra tap instead of having to remember to go then put them into your command too. Yep, 3 dots and then save contact to phone. So it's saving them in both spots. Oh, you gotta save it first, yeah. And then 3 dots. Yeah. And then saves it to your iPhone, so they're now in both places at once just with an extra tap. Then, once we click done, like save them to our phone too. What, yeah. What are we gonna do? I would personally allow access to all your contacts. I mean, I think that's. It won't, but it gives them, it gives it access to see those. So that if you do want to add them to your database. Probably kind of up to you and your privacy preferences.
How long will it take?
It won't take anything. That's not, it's just access, like permission. So yeah, then I will save it once to your phone, so now you have those places, and then what we can also do, once we save it to our phone, we can now also click over to SmartPLans. Like it will take us back to command. So SmartPLans on that white top toolbar, the contact, actually go back to that. And we can click that plus icon in that SmartPlan section. Yeah. Well, no, okay, there's a bunch of options up there. And the plus, click that plus sign, then search for the 8x8 plan. That should be in every person's account. It's my 8x8 new contact engagement is what it's called. And I'll show you what this plan is doing on the screen. We see it together. It does not send them anything. It gives you task reminders to be on top of mind with this new contact. So that at least like starting tomorrow, you could check your task and you would see the next step to best stay top of mind. So let me show you that SmartPlan here.
Does the QR code do the same thing?
Oh, was that from your app?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that allows them to scan your information very easily. It does,
Do they fill out a form or something? They don't fill it.
they do not. So the one free service that we do see do that is Blink.
I have like that.
Problem is, it's separate from command. So it's like you need to export and import, which Scott Lord Marketing, I don't know if you know, but they do that. Like people who do your setups, they can import like 5 spreadsheets per month per agent for free. So wherever you have contacts, as long as they're on a spreadsheet, you send to Scott, you don't know have to know how to import, they do the import.
What do we have to request to have them do the QR code to have a person go up there?
The Blink.
Yeah, to have the command one do it.
Oh, well, I mean, they
Like,
ideas.kw.com, which is
Okay.
the best spot.
I'll email.
it's not an email per se, but it's just a portal of like ideas that agents like recommend adding to command, like you'll see. Which is a great place to go to see like what's already been like suggested to them. You can also go through and like upload ideas that you really like faith-based smart plans, that would be great. Yeah, and like upload them and see what you can, kind of suggest. Now with that 8x8 smart plan, what that's doing, so this one, oh, guys, it does send something. Wait, is that everybody's? Now I don't know which ones I like. Can someone go to their smart plan section and then search the 8x8 one? Yeah, and then,
Library recommendation.
yeah, new content and pencil icon and like see what it does for you.
The way that it works is. The person, if they don't already have a part in here, it'll request a name, address, email.
So then you just create their information.
So the way that it works, you can either share your information, or you can have them scan it and it'll prompt them.
And then update your phone.
And then it gives you, it saves in the app.
Then you try to import it from.
Blink with a Q.
Still, yeah. It is.
That's pretty crazy because I'm looking at me, looking at my phone, and it's like, I still get that.
So how do you get to the smart phone?
Oh.
I mean, you. That was on.
Yeah, that's a. So there are some features on the app that don't work. Yeah, that they don't cross. And it looks like that's what it's been. But like with the content, you can ask on the smart plan that exists.
It'll say in the app.
And you do need to have it exist.
It'll say
Oh, oh,
everyone that I connected with.
Actually, that's funny.
that's the one I did add.
No, that will go from, yeah, but it will log it in command, which is awesome, that you text, now it won't like say per se. It will say you texted them on the.
No,
That's like that. Yeah. Oh, good shit. Oh, that's- So yeah, that 8x8, I did edit mine, so let me real quick here, show you what text would look like. Yes. So it does utilize Twilio, it sends them text messages. If you have Twilio, just a heads up, if you do not have Twilio, that's totally fine, it just skips those steps. So like, you can still utilize, smart plans that utilize Twilio, it just will skip. And then it will wait a few days, and wait 7 days exactly, and then it said, it will remind you to go send them an email. Now, for task management, smart plans, like you see, a lot of them will set up tasks for your business, so it's kind of setting up a system for your business. Same with that 8x8 engagement. It will set up a series of tasks. So the idea is, as we start to activate these kind of smart plans, we should be able to check our command app each morning. And on the homepage, see under do today, all the things we have to do today. Hopefully our mental load, it will be right in command in the task section, so we're not having to remember all this. So like when we start adding context to this plan, for example, and we click do today, we'll say, okay, well, yeah, text so-and-so, send an email to so-and-so, like send a value email to them. So you'll see all the things that you need to be doing.
So Twilio will connect with the app.
And it doesn't give you a task. Well, okay. If you change, so if you don't plan to use Twilio, we can click on these tasks and edit them. And you can, so by default, it's send an automated text. But if we do create a text task, it will just give you a task to go text them from your personal phone number.
Okay.
Which might be ideal anyway, like because, yeah, then you can set your dates.
Right.
Exactly. So,
700.
yeah.
You better send it.
Right.
So yes, that's something to know, that you can edit these texting steps so that you can make them fast, so that they're more so working for your business. I also want to know with Twilio as well, and I haven't mentioned it yet. So one of the great uses, right, is the automation part. So like birthday ones, another good use of it is like bulk sending text messages. So how we can utilize that in our section here, reset filters, is anyone I want to send a text message to, I could either check next to their name. If I wanted to send them all a text message, I could select all, either way. But what I can do is, as soon as I check a checkbox, I can select actions. And one of those things will also be to send a text message. So this is utilizing Twilio. Right. Okay, but here is where we can formulate our message to send that out. You'll see though, this is really big to know. You'll see when you're formulating that it gives you like a really small message that it recommends that you only send 200 text messages a day so that the phone carrier of the recipient does not blacklist your Twilio phone number. So it would be really important that you're like, either like you're sending only, like if you're going this way about it, I would do it 100 contacts at a time and do 2 pages a day. Or if you're utilizing a smart plan that will have like that you're adding all of your contacts to at a time, that utilizing a texting Twilio step, I would highly recommend that you stagger start it. And I would recommend stagger starting really any smart plans that have tasks. So one I might recommend, if you guys don't have already in there, is the quarterly call plan. Everyone, the people have that set up in their plan. Basically, what that's setting up is a call system for your business to remind you to call these contacts once a quarter. So it reminds you who to call next. And so you don't need to remember who you called last and who have I missed. The system's going to tell you. What I love about this smart plan, and we'll set it up today, is that, okay, even though it's a task reminder to call them, even if you take that as a task reminder to go email, or even to go comment on a social media post, just take it as like a task reminder to go reach out to them in any capacity. And though you'll be reminded once a quarter to go reach out. So let's go ahead and set that up today. So by default, everyone should have that already in there. If you need to double check the smart plan section, we're looking for quarterly call to be active. And just to show you what it's doing, because it's not too much, it's just a call reminder. Again, once a quarter. So it doesn't do anything else but that. How we can add contacts to this is, again, through the contact section. We can do it in bigger quantities. And oh, sorry. Looks like you should already have them.
Well, I had it in mind, but I took it out to finish from 20.
Oh, then you might get okay.
Which one would be
This. Now in the contact section. First thing, again, show 500 at a time. We can do things in 500 quantities.
So get out of that and go to contacts now.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay. I jumped fast.
And then there's only a certain amount of credits for on the.
No, because this one's just a task. Oh, I'm sorry, yes, for Twilio, yeah, I think it's like 300 credits a month that starts with the smallest package. And now credits per text message kind of vary, depending on what you have in there. Like if you have an attachment, I think that's like 3 credits is the max. On answers.pw.com, if you look up Twilio credits, they have one. Awesome sending credits. They have like a little article that breaks it down, like, so depending on how many characters, the topic can get is 3 credits per text. So this kind of depends on what you put. But let's see here. Okay, so yes, with this in the contact section now back to adding our contacts to the quarterly call plan. And yeah, I do recommend that we add everybody to that quarterly call, even if we don't have a phone number, because okay, that might be a reminder to go get that phone. So first show 500 to see all your contacts. Then we're going to check the top checkbox to select all. Then actions. And add to SmartPLans. For this, we're looking for the quarterly call, so we can type in quarterly and that should pop up. We'll click select. It's going to pop up with anyone like, again, like missing information like a phone number, but like I said, this might be your reminder to go get that. So let's add the plan anyway. Now this is a really, really key step. Because this, like I showed you, it's a smart plan that gives you tasks, notifications. If I were to start that right now, starting tomorrow, I would get 93 tasks. So we don't want it. Instead, we want to stagger start this. So this is where we can select, okay, how many contacts in a given day could you realistically call or reach out to? I would recommend starting lower.
Yeah.
Start on the lower end.
That's what those are.
And two, if you have multiple pages, like I saw you do, like, if you have more than 500 contacts, you need to kind of keep that in mind, because like, if I were to say, okay, if I want 10 contacts, starting with this one, and I set the same up with the next page of contacts, then I get 20 tasks. So you have to do some math here, like, if you have more than 500 contacts. So depending on how many pages, like, let's say I do 2, and I go to the next page and I do 2 again, and the next page 2 again. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, so you would probably want to do like one contact, yeah, so that you get 10 a day. So that's kind of the math part. So if you do have like a lot. If you only have 500, you're just selecting here how many in a given day you can do. Just a heads up, this will not pop up for holidays or weekends, so if you need a catch-up day, you can catch up on those days too. You always have to click this, but once I click confirm, starting tomorrow, you would get on your command app under due today, you'd get 3, if I set it up this way, 3 new due todays. And when I click on it, it would say quarterly call with, and fill in the contact's name of who I need to call. Then if I do that right from the app, what I love about this workflow, here's an example of one. I have like quarterly call with Jules text. And then what I can do, I can click call from the app, and I'm calling still with my personal phone number, but what's so powerful about it is when I hang up, it will say, okay, you called, mark that task as complete and add activity. So you can say, okay, if we talk, what did we talk? She mentioned she's going to Europe this summer, great. Next time that comes up, I'm gonna be like, how was Paris? But it was great. So it's a great workflow. I love having everything centralized. Any questions on that?
But if you don't want to necessarily make your phone call to that, I've got like 300 numbers in here,
Right,
filter those out.
if they're tagged.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've got a lot of them chat.
Yes. Yes, you could do, for example, filters up here, advanced. What I would do is probably do the tags. And then I would say excludes all. And then I could say agent and so it would exclude. But I don't get a little confused, with excludes all and excludes. But yeah, I think this one. Maybe try to.
Yeah, do some homework.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some answers. All. Okay, yes, that would be, so then we would want to exclude any, because, yeah.
Okay.
that would- Yeah. Because if I'm saying it would need, the contact would need both of these to be excluded, I guess that's what that's saying.
Yes.
This is any is saying either or.
Yeah.
The new ones, yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Any other questions I can answer about SmartPLans? There's a lot thrown at you. If I would recommend any of them, it would probably be quarterly call to start with, to help clean up your database. Like that's a great one to help with putting in addresses in there. Like every time that pops up, maybe you take it as like go email them for their addresses, and you can set them up on the monthly neighborhood nurtures like that. And just a heads up, in the super sneaky way to go about it, like if they are a homeowner, their home address is in the tax records and their home address. So if you do get that information from there, I would recommend putting them both in command. At the very least, like, yeah, even if you did not buy or sell them that home, reaching out on their home anniversary is a great reminder that you're in real estate and a great touch for that. And then also, I bet their real estate agent isn't reaching out. You ahead of them. And it's a good timeline of like, okay, if you know that people buy every 7 to 10 years and you know there's their home anniversary, then you can get a better gauge on how hot or cold they are. And just to show too, where we add that contact information is when we click on a contact record and click the pencil icon. The main email phone comes up right at top. And then tags are here too. But then under additional contact information is where you're gonna find the address, and then under about is where you're gonna find the details. And also a reminder that once you do add their birthday or whatever contact record to the contact, that doesn't mean they started on the birthday smart plan automatically. You still need to add them to that smart plan to activate those task reminders. Gives you more control though of what it is. Well, thank you so much for coming to class today. For sure, happy to help. And yeah, our next class is next Tuesday. On that one, the first and third Tuesdays of every month are the same. It's the command overview and then DocuSign 101 for new agents that come on. But then Thursday will be. Keep a lookout for the calendar and to see what we have to teach them. I love when you guys come to class. I appreciate it.
I have a random question. I don't even know how to answer this, but it involves marketing. So I have been doing a lot of new construction boards. What do I need to add? So like caption, description, wise, like, do I put their name, the builder's name, do I?
Oh, compliance wise?
Yeah,
That's a me question. That would be more of a costed question.
okay,
To know compliance wise, the main things I know advertising guidelines wise on the KWB resource.
yeah, for sure.
On the kwbresources.com page under its office resources, there's these advertising guidelines. This is what let me just refer back to to be quite honest. Yeah. And then these guidelines here, it breaks it down basically like if you're doing business cards, like the rules, or like social media. Now, I don't think there's new construction on here. Yeah, I don't see that it has anything, so I would definitely ask Sasha just to make sure that there's not anything that you do need to have. But I do like to reference this whenever I'm creating marketing materials in case
Okay, that makes sense.
Thank you. Absolutely. Any other questions I can help answer?
Yeah, just order the name tags on the Keller Williams site too.
I think they're on Agent Store. Yeah, agentstore.com.
Agent store.
I was getting that.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so I actually didn't start here at KWB, I started at KWC. So when you start there, they give you business cards and your name tag. And it doesn't say connected on it, so I just it's not mine. Yeah.
Just this agent store, this generic thing.
Yeah, but you can select our market center.
Oh,
And so those two are all in compliance, so you don't have to worry about that.
yeah, okay.
Usually that you do also the logo.
Oh, this is
Logos? Yeah. We create some.
What we are keeping up together. So we are thinking about logo.
Okay, awesome.
Like the brand.
Yeah, shoot me an email to remind you to, I'll shoot you our menu of services and then our calendar to get with us.
Yeah.
And then we can discuss that too.
People
And see how we can get some, because like we utilize Canva for our related, so it's less like, what's the Adobe one? Oh, no, not that, but Illustrate. So it's less draw, like we've got requests, like, can you draw a logo? We don't draw per se, we just do something.
For example, so that we are for this name.
Yeah.
And we create.
Yeah. Yes, we can do that, and we can even create like branding around it too, like signature.
We can do chat.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'll just remind me by shooting me an email and I'll reply. Sure. I'm excited for you to watch the team up. Have fun.
Yeah. All but then.
Yeah. Then I see it here.
Macarena dance.
Yeah.
No, but you'll get him through the restoration.
Yeah.
You
did, yeah.
No, it's. 101.
If you